Unfortunately, we're at Best Buy.
It's with a heavy heart that I have to announce that my first ever external hard drive, 3 terabytes, is fucking full. So unfortunately, I have to go in here and spend more money on a new external hard drive. It hit its fucking limit. I think I might buy a mic arm too while I'm here. Might as well, because I have to buy this fucking external hard drive. I never thought it would happen because 3 terabytes of footage and shit is a lot. But with these daily uploads, it almost got me the full year till it hit its limit. So let's go get a fucking external hard drive. As you see, I only recorded one clip yesterday. So I went to Matea's for dinner. We were having chicken and beef tacos, carb conscious shells, of course. But I got an unfortunate phone call from my dad that he had to take my grandmother to the hospital. So that's not a blast. I just continued to hang out with Matea and her family and that, and just came home and didn't get home till around 9:30. Didn't really feel like filming anymore. Just wanted to go to bed. So that's what I did. I went to bed. Gonna go visit her today, but yeah, it just got me thinking deeply about things, about life and such, and just the aspects of science that I think are, like, sad but cool. Like, this isn't anything super serious that she's in the hospital for yet, but there's always just that concern of, like, why are you there? Which I'm not going to get super deep into, but it's like, could this develop into something worse? It's never a good feeling when one of your loved ones, especially when they're getting older, have to go to the hospital. But it just got me thinking of, like, this past 2 weeks has been pretty rough in the aspect of people's health. Like, I have 2 uncles that got diagnosed with some things, and that got diagnosed, that I figured out their diagnosis, and now my grandmother. But it's like, well, all that's going on, I also have a niece that's coming into the world in a week or so. And it's just crazy that, like, this thing that we call the human experience is truly just a marvelous experience of loss and gain. If you're fortunate enough to gain, and it's not just all loss, because there are people that it's all loss. They don't have siblings that have kids, or they don't have kids of their own. So it could be just a game of a lot more loss than there is gain. But it's just fascinating to me. As troubling as times get, I just reflect back at, like, this has happened for generations and generations and generations and generations before me. And that's what brings me comfort, is for roughly, if you believe the oldest date of human beings being 350,000 years, we've been dealing with it for that long. Humans have been losing loved ones and friends and all that for 350,000 years. So it's like, this isn't a new feeling or an experience to the human species. Yes, if you haven't lost somebody in your life, it might be a new experience to you. But I believe it's ingrained in us to be able to cope with this feeling, and to be able to cope with the fact of loss. So that's like a very strange, I guess I would assume, way of finding comfort in times. Like, when my grandfather died, don't get me wrong, it was very hard. It was extremely hard, but I constantly thought about the fact that, you know how many people have gone through this? You know how many people have gone through this? And I'm gonna, let it ruin my life. You can't. You cannot be sorrow, mourn, do that for the shorter period of time, say mourn for a week, whatever, and then celebrate that person. And throughout your life, you're going to find little things inside yourself that is a reflection of them, something that came from them, um, something that they, just through osmosis of hanging out together and being related and genetics and that was passed down to you. Like, I believe my love for coffee and absolutely annihilating coffee day in and day out is a thing that I have gotten or have been passed down from my grandfather. Both of them. But, not to get off on a tangent, but when he passed, it was like, I found comfort in just like, okay, you're going to survive this. This has happened more times than we can even imagine in human history. And I would assume majority of people find a way to cope with it and figure it out naturally. Obviously, there's people that turn to substances when they lose somebody to try to dull the pain, but I think we have something within inside ourselves that is passed down evolutionary that we don't need to cope with external things. I think we could find it within ourselves to be able to compartmentalize and figure out how to deal with the loss. And now it's just like, it just makes you think, like, family's a weird thing, right? It's like, in a week or so, I'm going to have a new family member. It's fucking weird, It's not. We know how it works, right? We all, it's human birth. But it's just like, my family went from, say, 7 people, now it's going to be 8 people. It's like this human being that's coming to the world is part of my family. And it's just crazy because the stark contrast between loss and gain is definitely extreme. There's definitely a dichotomy there. One is way harder than the other. But I always think how crazy it is that, like, there's people that I met, right? And there's people that I've met that were in my family that the younger generation hasn't met. So it's like I'm the only link between that older generation. Say like my grandfather and my niece. She's never going to have the chance to meet my grandfather, but it's like we're the link between the two, And then, like, say with my grandfather, with his parents, with my great-grandparents, I never met them, obviously, but, like, he's the link. My mom is the link. My dad is the link between them, and it's like it's just, I don't know. It's crazy to me, but yeah, gonna continue to sip this coffee and start tomorrow's video. And in about an hour or so, I'm gonna go to the hospital and see my grandmother. But sorry for the shorter video again. I hope you can understand. But I did get the new external hard drive. It is plugged in now. So yeah. All right. See you tomorrow. Peace.